Hello friends, welcome. In this video, we'll be discussing the forensic psychology and introduction part 2. What is the subject matter of forensic psychology? In other sense, what are the specific areas that are studied, researched and explained by the forensic psychology? Forensic psychology is the study of criminals from the perspective of psychology. That is the cardinal statement or the central theme of the forensic psychology. It includes exploring what led humans to engage in criminal behavior. What are the factors that induces the individual to engage in violence or the behavior that is determinantal for the health of the individual or the victim or the society as a whole. Then forensic psychology advises judiciary and legal system. Then it provides objective inputs to crime investigation agencies, because without the scientific and objective inputs it becomes little bit difficult to fight the case in the court of justice. Then psychological assessment of criminals in various perspectives. Then expert witness in the court of law. Crime scene analysis. Prediction of risk of violence by an offender. Ethical issues and prison and prisoners. All these areas are being covered by the forensic psychology. Now let us briefly explain each area. The first one, the exploring what led humans to engage in criminal behavior. Under this domain, forensic psychologists, they research and explore the factors such as if an individual has committed a crime is the result of suggestion by others, or it is instigation by others, or instigation by the society, instigation by the situation, or its own viewpoint. Then the mental state of the criminal. This all a kind of academic inputs provided by the forensic psychology to the world, so that it highlights the role of this particular subject in crime, criminality, judiciary and legal system. Advises judiciary and legal system. Judiciary always seek suggestion from various fields, various subjects. Judiciary also seeks the suggestions, expert advice from the forensic psychologist. The court cases are being assessed by the forensic psychologist. They play instrumental role in application of court orders, and forensic psychologist helps in ascertaining the truthfulness of confessions. Sometimes the confession may or may not be true. So the reliability and truthfulness of these confessions are examined by the forensic psychology. Objective inputs to crime investigation agencies. You know, the central role of crime investigation agencies is to arrest the criminal and produce in the court. They need help of various experts, and forensic psychologists are one of them. They advise investigators in extracting the authentic information from the criminals. They suggest the best and effective interviewing techniques. Then they help in solving the problem. They help in behavioral management, decision making, deducing inferences out of the confessions made by the criminals, and various inputs received from the various agencies. Then exploring the state of mind of the offender and suggesting means to effectively deal with criminals. Then psychological assessment of criminal. This assessment is limited to the forensic. Means specifically the assessment is done for the forensic. So what this assessment includes? This includes the examination of factors that are beyond the control of criminals. Sometimes there are certain factors that are beyond the control of the individuals who commit crime. Interestingly, there are some factors. They can be situational, that can be psychological one, that can be social one, or the cultural one. The background of the criminals, the family environmental factors, immediate locality factors, and brain related factors. So these all factors are almost beyond the control of the criminals. Apart from that, this assessment helps in predicting the behavior of the offender or the criminal. Then expert witness in the court of the law. Interestingly, the forensic psychologist stand in a witness box in court of law, and they are fully armed with the scientific and objective inputs. This is a kind of a relevant scientific testimony which are based on the psychological principles, techniques, theories and findings. But there's a limit to that. That is limit to the legal system. There are several issues where forensic psychologist testifies in the court of justice. For example, who can be given the custody of a child? Father, mother, or someone else? Then competency to stand trial, whether the criminal is competent enough to stand the trial or face the trial. Then criminal profiling, what is the psychological profile of the particular criminal? Selection of jury, forensic psychologists play a prominent role in selection of jury, and writing of reports. Then crime scene analysis. You know, the crime scene is the most important geographical location that provides inputs, clues, tangible proofs that can be used in the court of law. Dear friends, the forensic psychologist advises on interpretation of behavioral footprints left by the criminal at the crime scene. What are the behavioral footprints? Such as evaluation of physical evidences. The kind of physical evidence that are found on the crime scene are evaluated from the perspective of psychology. Suppose a criminal left a pen there. So what does this pen testifies? There are various viewpoints as far as the pen is related or pen is found at the crime scene. So that has to be ascertained by the forensic psychologist. Then the style of attack on the victim, nature of attack, and what are the sequence of total criminal process. So this all are to be studied, and the clues are gleaned from the crime scene. Total analysis is made and a report is prepared, and crime investigation agencies are helped in this case. Prediction of risk of violence by an offender. The forensic psychologist, what they do is they assess the individual for the chances of committing crime in the future after they release from the prison or release from the sentence. Because the risk assessment, the critical issue as far as the harmony of the society is concerned. If the criminal is found to commit the crime after release, may affect his chances of release. They predict the chances of potential misconduct and engaging in dangerous activity. It is critical in making decision regarding, you know what, granting bail or deciding upon the sentence. Next, ethical issues. Forensic psychologists, being basically from the field of psychology, they must adhere to the ethical issues that are required to be observed by the psychologist. So what does it contain? The ethical issues may arise due to various proceedings, such as the prevention of misuse of psychological results, because the psychological outcomes are personal one. So they may be misused by the other agencies. This is a big ethical issue that confronts the forensic psychologist more often. Informed consent of the criminal for his assessment, confidentiality about the maintenance of the records. So these are the various ethical issues that are to be considered and observed by the forensic psychologist, because forensic psychologist generally deals with the personal data of the criminals. Remember, criminals are also human beings. Prison and prisoners. Forensic psychologists, they advise the prison management in effectively managing the prisoners, and they help in deciphering the various behavioral issues of the prisoners, such as, do they learn from the other prisoners by the observational learning? Do they have the tendency to learn the new techniques of the committing crimes? Is the keeping the criminals in isolation or seclusion is an efficient strategy to deal with the behavioral changes or to reform the criminals? The daily routine of prisoners, the prisoners' behavior inside the prison and with fellow prisoners, etc., etc., are being examined and explored by the forensic psychologist. That is within the prison walls. The prisoners are assessed for various psychological traits such as personality, whether they have antisocial personality. If they have antisocial personality, then it becomes difficult to release them. But if they have committed a crime due to situational factors, psychological factors, and they generally do not have antisocial personality, certainly they are relatively safer as far as their behavior is concerned. Their sociability, the insanity, the vulnerability, etc. These all are being studied when the prisoners are inside the prison and prior to releasing the prisoners into community. Apart from that, forensic psychologists provide psychotherapy and effective counseling techniques to the prisoners, because finally they are also human beings. Now, there are some complicated issues that are handled by the forensic psychology. Insanity. More often, criminals plead not guilty due to their mental condition, and that mental condition has to be examined by the forensic psychologist. Then faking, or also known as the malingering, that is idea to avoid responsibility of one's wrongdoing. There is an interesting case. One drunkard man hit a car with his own vehicle. When the case was presented in the court, he said, "This is not my responsibility because I was intoxicated." Then the attorney asked him, "You purchased the liquor intentionally? You consumed the liquor intentionally? How the hell can you escape from your responsibility? Because this is the natural outcome of your intentional actions." This way, sometimes criminals tend to fake. Then exaggeration and lying. It's a very interesting phenomenon. Those feels that they may be liable to be punished by virtue of their gravity of their crime. They intentionally exaggerate the symptoms of mental illness to get relief, get extra attention, special privileges momentary compensation or sympathy. But here comes the role of forensic psychologist to examine the condition as far as the state of criminal is concerned. Then complications to psychotherapy. Because the criminals who committed a crime may or may not seek psychotherapeutic or counseling help. When the criminals are not volunteer to seek this counseling, it becomes a challenging task for the forensic psychologist to offer the psychotherapeutic and the counseling services to the criminals. Finally, lie detection. There is a polygraph test is being administered regularly to ascertain the truthfulness of the confessions of the criminal. But its efficiency has been questioned by various agencies. Yet, it has provided various inputs in legal and jurisprudence. These are my references. You can cross-check them and you can study them for deeper insight. Our next discussion will be psychology and law. Dear friends, if you like the contents and presenting style of this video, share with others or just drop a comment in my comment box, or you can email me at vamasujit@yahoo.com. I'll be there to answer your questions, your queries and your doubts. Thanks for watching.